Last week we celebrated our 100th episode of Comic Misconceptions, and we made a video about all sorts of crazy Batman lawsuits. And today, I'm hopefully going to answer once and for all, whatever happened to the weekly trivia challenge. So for the 100th episode, we had a lot of submissions, and not everybody made it in. I think less than half of the people actually made it into the full video, and a couple people, including NDSB, were wondering if we would ever put out a full-length cut, like a director's extended cut of the episode, where it features everybody who sent in a submission. And I'm not sure if we will do this. I mean, we might. It's not off the realm of possibilities or anything, but I'd like to know if that's something that you guys would like to see, because it is going to be, work on our part and everything. So if it's not something that you want to see, then, we probably won't bother with it. But if enough of you guys do, then, yeah, we could probably work something out. On that same video, Kristen Roberts asks the age-old question that many people have asked before her, which is, whatever happened to the weekly trivia challenge? So if you're new to the channel and you don't know what I'm talking about, way back in the day, at the very start of Comic Misconceptions, we had a segment at the end of each episode called the Weekly Trivia Challenge that was dedicated to me just throwing some fun, quick facts at you, asking people a question, and I would answer it in the following video. Eventually, I had it kind of link up with each episode, so I would kind of tease the next week's video with the trivia question. So if I'm talking about Batman, for example, I would have a trivia question about Batman to kind of say like, hey, this is what we'll be talking about next week. And the problem with that is I would change my mind very regularly about what video I would do the following week. So we would have stuff about like, hey, I'm going to talk about Thor this week, and then the next week I'd be like, hey, so this is the answer to the Thor trivia question, but we're not going to talk about Thor today because that's just, I want to talk about something else. So I don't know, it got kind of weird and chaotic to me. And also looking at YouTube analytics, super boring stuff, I know, but basically people were just dropping off at that point of the video anyway. So that showed me that, hey, people probably aren't watching this part anyway. So eventually I got rid of it, I think 2-ish years ago, maybe 1.5 years ago. And a lot of people have been asking for it back. We reintroduced it onto our podcast. If you didn't know we had a podcast, we do. It's called the NerdSync podcast, very clever name. And every once in a while we have full hours of comic book trivia where we bring in quizzes and test each other's knowledge about that sort of thing. It's super fun. And actually, I'm thinking about doing something this week. So today, we're trying it out on today's podcast episode, where I'm going to open each episode up with a piece of trivia that you guys sent in. And if you want to send in your own piece of trivia, you can do so over at weeklytriviachallenge.com. I finally bought that domain name. Nobody else wanted it, apparently. So that's a lot of information at you. Hopefully that answers this question, and I can just point people back to this video forever, because I still get asked about it. In the Super Suits video about Batman versus basically lots of different people, the number one comment I think we got was about how we showed the wrong sports team when we were talking about how DC sued a soccer team, and I think that just goes to show that we're not really sports people. So you'll have to forgive us. We'll try really hard to make sure we get our assets correct there. I find it hilarious that not a single one of us caught it. So many people watched the video before it went up, and none of us even knew. So I can't promise that won't happen again, but we're gonna try really hard to, it seems simple enough. Just a simple mistake. Connor, don't worry about it. It's a dumb joke that I, for some reason, won't let die. We even have t-shirts that say it. I don't know why. And we are going to wrap up this very quick comment video with some more fan art, which I always like to feature from you guys. You guys are super talented. This comes from Tanner on Twitter, who drew me as a cyborg beating up Wolverine. Not just Wolverine, though, beating up Hugh Jackman. And what I find really interesting about this is that this is the second time, at least, where somebody has drawn me as a cyborg, which is an interesting theme. I'm not gonna fight it. I think it's awesome. So Tanner, you are getting this week's NerdSync No Prize, which again, I cannot stress this enough, means nothing. But guys, I think that's gonna do it for this super short Tales from the Comments video. We have a ton of stuff that we're working on for this month. A lot of Batman, a lot of Superman, of course, as you can imagine. So make sure you hit that big sexy subscribe button so you don't miss out on all that stuff. And while you're at it, click right here to check out last week's 100th episode of Comic Misconceptions. Super great, features some of your guys' faces in it, you wonderful nerds. And you can also click right here to watch the Super Suits video that discusses some ridiculous lawsuits surrounding DC Comics and Batman. It was a ton of fun to watch. I say that as if I worked on it. I didn't work on it, but it's just a great video. Go click on it, watch it. All the links in the description. As always, I will see you guys on Wednesday for another episode of Comic Misconceptions. See ya.